One thing that has never set right with me is the death of Andrew Dawson. He supposedly took his own life after going mega viral on TikTok for seeing a giant on a mountaintop back in 2022. If you've already heard this story, I want you to drop your theories in the comments because I want to know what you all think about this. And if you have not heard this story, just stick around because this is a wild ride. So Andrew's TikTok is still up because I just went and looked through a lot of his videos, but of course nothing's been posted since 2022 and all of the comments are disabled. Before seeing this giant on the mountain, he was a very normal dude. But then things take a strange turn in this video right here.
What is it? It's a person, dude. No, seriously, pull over.
Of course, the video goes mega viral, so he goes back the next day to film it again and sees nothing.
Let's keep it steady for you guys. And it's not even there anymore, too.
In the next video, he attempts to go up to the mountain because there's a road that goes up to that area, but he is stopped and told to turn around and that he cannot proceed up the mountain.
This is him. What's going on?
Road's closed. Turn around.
Really?
Yeah, man. Just.
And then after that incident, he posts multiple videos of where he is being watched outside of his house by an unmarked car.
I think that's the same vehicle from... Hey!
The part that really creeps me out though is his second to the last video that he ever posted stating that this was all just a big hoax. But watch this video because it looks like someone is making him read a script or telling him what to say and he looks terrified.
Hey guys, I just want to give you an update. I'm not dead. I have not disappeared. I have just been busy with life. I couldn't get around to posting and updating you guys, so now I'm going to give you an official update of what's been going on. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all the videos that I posted were scripted. They're just fake. They were just strictly for entertainment. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I just needed to give you a quick update.
However, 10 days after posting that video, you can tell he becomes increasingly paranoid and then posts this.
I might not see me post ever again. My videos weren't fake.
His final video was posted on May 17th of 2022, and it showed what appeared to be like a military base that all of a sudden popped up on the mountain. After that final post, it went radio silent on his TikTok page, and then 2 months later on July 1st of 2022 is when his obituary came out. I mean, I guess you could say that this is all just a big hoax, but the fact that he took his own life 2 months after finding this creature on the mountain, and then if you look back at his previous post before he found this giant walking on the mountain, he was very normal. And then you see him just progressively get more paranoid and things like that. It's just very odd. Drop in the comments what you think happened to him, what you think this was on the mountain, the strange military base. Give me all of your opinions. I want to know. If you want more stories like this too, then just follow along.
You know, it's real crazy. Because in that video, I've seen that video before. The moment he started talking about, okay, my videos were not real, he started looking over, breaking eye contact. And that's a telltale sign right there, that somebody was making him do that. Girl, and I understand why he did it, because they was probably threatening him or whatever. And you know, girl, I understand why we don't see Bigfoots and Sasquatches and giants, like, you know, anymore, because as soon as you mention that, it's like they get disturbed. Their peace of mind gets disturbed. Like the military comes in and it's just like, bro, what? They come in and then don't tell us nothing. And then say we're lying. And then block access to a free world. Like, it's crazy to me. I'ma just put it out there right now, right here, right now. What's the day? October 8th, 2025. I know I'm not a nobody. I'm a nobody right now. I mean, I'm a somebody, honey. Yes, honey. I'm gonna be famous soon. I want to let y'all know that I would never unalive myself. You heard it. You heard it right here. Okay, honey? Okay? We've seen so many cases of celebrities offing themselves. They didn't really do that. Someone had a hit on them. Someone took them out. We have a few that you can name or drop it in the comments who you believe did not commit, didn't unalive themselves. So comment below. I have a few off the top of the head that I can think of that even said that he would never do that. So if someone said they never gonna do it and then in the news they do it, it's just like, nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
My family lives near the Appalachian Trail, and I've lived near the Appalachian Trail for nearly my entire life in 2 different states. Actually, 3 different states, sorry. 3 different states I've lived almost really close to the Appalachian Trail. And people are always talking about how beautiful the trail is itself, like how tranquil it is and whatever. And my husband, who moved from Brazil, had never been there before. So we naturally decided to go camping there one time. I don't know if you're like familiar with Appalachia or anything, but once you step into those woods, like you can feel a significant change in the atmosphere. Like the energy just gets way more heavy and it's just weird. It feels off. You know that feeling in your gut when you just like know something's off? That's kind of how I was feeling the entire time that we were on the trail, but my husband was having a grand old time, and so I just pushed on. I was like, he's having a great time. He's never been out in these types of woods before. We're just gonna keep going. Whatever, we hiked on, and then we finally found our little camping spot, and when we did set up our camping spot, that's when I noticed that the sounds in the forest had stopped. And if you know anything about the woods, that is not a good sign. We set up our camping spot anyways. I kind of glanced over at my husband to see if he was picking up on what the energy was around the woods, and he totally was too, but he didn't say anything about it, and we just kind of pressed on. Surprisingly though, we were able to fall asleep in our tent. Like the beginning of the night was fine, other than the uneasy feeling that we both kind of had. But I want to say it was around midnight when we started to hear the sounds of footsteps outside of our tent. And if you are like an avid camper, you know that like footsteps outside of your tent is like usually just an animal. However, you can always tell when it's an animal walking on 4 legs versus 2. If you know what I mean? So when we heard the footsteps, we froze and we listened and we were like, yo, this is not the sound of an animal. Like we could hear like kind of this low guttural growling that didn't sound like a bear. It didn't sound like any kind of animal that we've ever heard of before. Kind of like it wasn't a human, but it also wasn't quite animal. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense? I don't know what to tell you. It just sounded wrong. So my husband, being the big bad Brazilian that he is, he unzipped the tent and stuck his head out. Whatever he saw had him so damn shook that he muckled onto my arm so hard and he said, "Don't move. Don't move." He was like, "Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't move, don't look." And of course I looked. And what I saw has absolutely deterred me from going camping on the Appalachian Trail since. It was like this tall, pale, kind of like too thin to be a man type figure. Its arms were really gangly, like they were too long for its body. Mind you, I couldn't see it very clearly, okay, so I'm just like kind of telling you what the outline of what I saw looked like. I could tell that its head was kind of cocked to the side, like something does when it's kind of studying you, like an animal or like something curious. It's like, and although I couldn't see its figure completely, I did see its glowing, creepy looking eyes. They looked like the glowing eyes of an animal off in the woods, but they were like up too high to be an animal. It looked like a person, but somebody who's too tall to be a person, but they were standing like a man. Does that make sense to you? I don't really know how to explain it, but my mind knows what it looks like. We stayed locked in place, barely breathing, clutching on to each other, shaking. My chest felt like it was going to explode from holding everything in. Like the anticipation was absolutely crazy. Was this thing going to run at our tent? What was this thing going to do? Every instinct in my body told me to scream and run away, but both of those things in Appalachia are an absolute no-no. Those types of creatures love a good chase. Number 1 rule in Appalachia is if you've seen something, no you didn't. If you've heard something, no the fuck you didn't. And if you ever see something, you're supposed to just back away slowly. Not pay attention. I didn't see anything. I'm just gonna go back to my car. But anyway, after what seemed like forever, this thing finally stopped staring into our souls, dropped on all 4s, and then skittered into the woods as fast as it could. When I say fast, like it was like there and then it wasn't. Like, yeah, we didn't go investigate, obviously. We hunkered down in our tent and we didn't move or sleep for the rest of the night. And as soon as the sky turned even the lightest bit of gray, we sprung into action and tore up our whole entire campsite and left as soon as we could. I've heard so many other stories of creepy things happening to people on the Appalachian Trail. So honestly, it just kind of seems like a thing that happens when you go there, which makes sense. I mean, those are the oldest mountains in America. They have a lot of history, a lot of creatures that we refuse to acknowledge. So if you ever decide to go to Appalachia, do not forget the rules of the woods.
Girl, you ain't gotta worry about me going down. You don't even have to worry about it. My brain, my mind saw what you saw. Like, the way she described it made me see it. And I was just like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to be there. I do. Why'd you take me there? What were we doing? So yeah, Fred. No. Yo, it blows my mind that people camp. And they camp by themselves. Not in a group. Also in a tent. The first time they go on a trail. It just blows my mind. And it's just like, yo, did you realize you was the only person camping there? And this is a popular destination. And you're telling me that you were just like, oh yeah, we're the only people here? Nah, fuck that. Freak that, because ain't no freaking way, honey. The moment the world got quiet, the woods got quiet, I would have been like, that was my signal. Like, no noise was my signal to go. Like, no, friend. He was so brave to stick his head out, bro. You stuck your head out to sea too. It reminds me of The Washers. One of you told me to watch that movie. It was a good movie. It was a good. I was just like, yo, what if? Like, really? And it's crazy because when I was younger than I am now, I used to always be in the woods, but not like just, oh, we're just out in the woods. Like, it was usually for a reason why I was going to the woods, you know. You don't know my childhood, but you know, it was a reason why I would go to the woods. It wasn't just like, oh, we're going to play in the woods. I don't think I was one of those kids, like, oh, we're going to play in the woods, because I also knew there was creatures in the woods that we know of that was, you know, like bears and stuff. Like in my hometown, my city, there are bears. They're smart. They'll open up your car door, get in, and drive down to the market. Like, they're smart. So yeah, friend, no, that was scary. Y'all are so brave, and I don't blame you for getting the freak out of Dodge. Like, oh.
You're a gardener and you like spooky ookies, welcome to 31 days of Halloween. We're doing spooky stoner content all month long. Grab a drink, grab a snack, go garden. Today we are talking about one of the oldest, scariest cannabis urban legends to exist, the hippie babysitter and the baby roast. In 1960, there's a family of three, a mom, a dad, and a son, and the parents really want to go on a date night and they haven't been on one since the son was born. His mom is calling her friends who also have kids, trying to find a reputable babysitter, but unfortunately it's kind of last minute and nobody's available. Last resort, they open up the newspaper and they find that there's a babysitter ad. So they call her up and she's available for the night. Rolls up and she is in a Volkswagen Beetle and bell bottoms. Okay, it's not looking good. This girl is looking like she is a rug fan. Fortunately, against their better judgment, they just decide, let's show the girl through the house, let's show her where our kids' stuff is, and then let's have a nice dinner out. Say goodbye to the babysitter, she closes the door, they go out, they have a nice dinner, and they come home and they find that their front door is cracked open. Obviously alarmed, because what the fuck is the door open right now when we are supposed to have a babysitter and our literal child is inside? They rush into the house to find the entire house is in disarray. They walk in, they see that every single food item they have, whether it's a Coke bottle, whether it's the pitcher of milk, whether it's a bag of chips, it is either fully eaten or it is just thrown about the house. And they're like, oh my god, someone's broken in, where's our child? They're calling the babysitter by the name, they're running through the house, and they finally find her and she's sleeping on the couch. Crashing out, they obviously shake her awake, they're screaming at her, they're like, where is our child? What have you done to our house? And she calmly tells them that they need to relax because the baby's been in the bassinet for hours up in his room. Convinced at all, both of the parents leave the babysitter on the couch and bolt up to the son's room, only to find there is a raw turkey in the bassinet. Both of the parents are looking at the turkey and looking at each other in disbelief. All of a sudden, they hear the kitchen ding bell for the oven. They rush downstairs, they grab the babysitter, they go to the kitchen, they open up the oven, and there is the baby. Parents have called police. The babysitter's distraught. She's being arrested, and they asked her how something like this could happen, and she said, and I guess I got confused. Ooh. And it's super important to remember, this is from 1960s when Reefer Madness was alive and well. This is not a true story, okay? This is what they were telling the children to get them to stop gardening. So y'all can all breathe easy, but hell of a story, man.
Bro, why would she say gardening? I was just like, gardening? What is... And then I was just like, oh. Bro, are you high? No, I'm not. Yeah, friend. The whole time she was telling the story, I was like, this ain't even make sense. The first day where she was like, they wanted a date night and had to find a babysitter. I was just like, nope, lies, lies, lies. Because you got a new baby. A lot of parents don't leave their new baby with people they don't know. They don't. They just don't do that. So I was just like, no, that's a lie off the bat. Off the bat. That's really crazy that well, no, it's not. They were the stories I've heard that the government has made up to scare us out of doing stuff is unbelievable. It's just like, are you serious? You really think? But back then, they really thought, they really believed these stories that people were told them. Like, they trusted the government back in the day. Now we know better. We know better now. But yo, friend, I was just like, you just imagine if that was true. Because like, when was the last time you got bait and did something strange? I don't think no. There's never been a time that I've gotten bait and did something strange. I've gotten bait and made the best masterpieces I've ever made in my life. I'm about to drop a single and you about to find out. I don't think I was bait during then though. With a lot of my music, when I made music, I made it sober at my job when I worked at the post office. When I had a walking route, I would make up rhymes in my head and so yeah, friend, no, there's not many times that I can't think of one time where I've gotten baked and did something strange. Many times where I've gotten baked and cleaned up the whole entire house. What type of baked are you? Like, comment below. What do you do when you get high? Girl, there's so many things. Like, I'm one type of person who gets baked. I'm a creative when I get baked. Either I'm creating something or I'm cleaning something. It's just like overdrive because I get high, go to the bathroom and be like, oh, when's the last time I cleaned that handle? I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna clean this handle, throw it in the trash, miss the trash, and be like, huh, is the floor actually clean? Sweep the floor, start mopping, and be like, huh, well, since I'm already mopping, let me mop the hallway. That's how it is. It just be like, huh, one thought turns to an action that turns into another action. Like, you think I go on tangents when I'm sober. Imagine when I'm high, bro. Imagine, like, the other day, for my members, that I was talking about this the other day. Me and my mom stayed. Did I didn't post that video. My bad. I had a short that let me know that I was in a different parallel. I know for a fact now. And I was telling you guys, I gotta post that short, that I was in another parallel. And I learned it because the other day, me and my mom was in their living room talking. It was like 12 o'clock in the morning. And we were talking. I was baked, bro. I don't think she knew I was baked, bro. But she was acting high too. So we had a great conversation, bro. So yeah, it was hilarious. I should have recorded because that conversation, absolutely hilarious. We need a freaking show. It was so funny. I was just like, Mom, why are you so silly? She was like, I'm tired. It's past my bedtime. So yeah, friend, no. Yeah, I don't know. I went on a tangent. Oh, that's why I was like, I went on a tangent. I don't remember what I was talking about. Me going on tangents. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Like this video, follow all the creators, and subscribe.